Welcome to your September 2021 horoscope. My name is Cailin, and today I'm going to be covering all of the major transits using tropical astrology and the whole sign system. I strongly recommend that you watch your horoscope for your ascendant sign first and foremost, because it will be the most overall accurate for you. The sun sign horoscope will pertain more to your career and your life goals, whereas your moon sign horoscope will tell you more about your family life and your current living circumstances. If you have time to watch all three horoscopes, I recommend that you do so, because it will give you a very well-rounded and blended picture of what you can expect for the month ahead. And now let's dive into the horoscopes. Hi Virgo Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your September 2021 horoscope. On the 3rd of September, Mars in Virgo in your first house will be opposed by Neptune in Pisces in your 7th house. Your 7th house represents your one-on-one relationships, and specifically speaking, this can be your significant other if you have one, a business partner, your second-born child, or even your maternal grandmother. Now, this particular transit can see you being extremely frustrated with one or more of those individuals. Mars in Virgo in your first house just wants to get things done. Mars rules your 3rd house, which rules over your communications and your mentality, and it also rules over your 8th house, which is a very psychological house. So you may be butting heads with one or more of these people because they're off with the fairies or very absent-minded, or they could be giving you advice which you deem to be quite useless, such as go with the flow or see the bigger picture, and you just want to get things done. On a different level though, these people or one of these individuals could actually help you to really cool off if you are experiencing extreme bouts of frustration, or if you're just getting angry in your day-to-day life. Now, on the 5th of September, Mercury in Libra in your 2nd house will trine Saturn in Aquarius in your 6th house. This is a very positive transit for introducing more stability into your working life. The 2nd house rules over your money and your finances, and Mercury is your ruling planet. The 6th house rules over your daily working life. So for those of you who are contractors or freelancers, this trine to Saturn can see you having more stable employment, or perhaps you are being offered a more permanent role. Maybe you are in a part-time position or a casual position, and now you're being offered full-time hours. Or on a different level, if you own your own business, as represented by Saturn ruling your 5th house as well as the 6th house, this can see you finally having enough funds to back you up to take this full-time. Maybe you had a side job, or you had this business which was just in its infancy, and now you're getting this stable work and this more consistent clientele, and you can finally make that leap. Now, on the 6th of September, Venus in Libra in your 2nd house will trine Jupiter in Aquarius in your 6th house. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. And because Venus is the ruler of your 2nd house, which represents your finances, Jupiter could increase your current financial earning capacity, and it can do this via you having more work responsibilities or opportunities in the workplace. Jupiter is the natural ruler of your 7th house, and it will be retrograde during this transit, which means that old clients or former clients and contracts could be coming back to you for renegotiation or for renewal. Given that this contact is being made with Venus, this will impact your finances. On a different level, Venus rules your 9th house, and it also represents relationships. So you could have some relationship here being initiated or reinstated, which involves someone from a foreign country. It could be a global contract. It could require you to travel for this opportunity. In any case, I do see this as bringing back some kind of work responsibility for you. Now, the 6th house also rules over all of your day-to-day routines and habits and rituals. So with Jupiter here, you may just experience some kind of healing or blessing when it comes to your health. Venus rules over what you eat and how we nurture and nourish ourselves. And with Venus in your second house, any changes that you make to your diet around this time could have a very healing and beneficial impact on your health and well-being. Now, on the 7th of September, there will be a new moon in Virgo in your first house. And there will be a lot of other aspects going on with this new moon. It will be opposing Neptune in Pisces in your 7th house, and it will be trining Uranus in Taurus in your 9th house, and it will also trine Pluto in Capricorn in your 5th house. Given that this new moon is occurring in your sign at 14 degrees, this will see most Virgos, and especially if you're a Virgo rising, having a new lease on life. Neptune represents healing. Uranus represents liberation and rebellion and freedom. Pluto represents transformation. So this new moon in Virgo will see you transforming your life via liberating yourself in terms of seeing that your horizons can be expanded, because Uranus is in your 9th house. So this is about having a drastic change in how you perceive your future going forwards. Pluto being in your 5th house can see you transforming your romantic relationships, or perhaps you're transforming your relationship with your children. Now, of course, with this opposition to Neptune in your 7th house, this may require you to let go of a relationship. Now, this could be with your significant other, this could be with anyone that you're in a one-on-one relationship with, this could also be with a business partner, or with a close one-on-one friend. In any case, you are able to successfully dissolve this relationship. So if you have felt quite bound by this relationship, or perhaps this person has been quite heavily reliant on your services, because of course as Virgos we are a very giving sign. Yes, I have my moon in Virgo, so nonetheless this new moon in Virgo will see you being able to transform from your current relationships and have more independence and freedom. And for maybe the first time in your life, you'll actually be able to put yourself first without feeling guilt. Now, on the 15th of September, Mars will enter the sign of Libra, which means it will be transiting your second house. So with Mars in your second house, you will be very proactive about making money. The second house rules over your finances as well as your possessions and valuables. So you'll be looking at ways to increase your earning capacity. Mars rules over your 8th house of mutual resources. So if you are in a long-term relationship with someone, or even if you simply have your resources pooled together with another person or with a collection of other individuals, you may be quite motivated to earn more money so that you can contribute more. Now, Mars rules over your 3rd house of education, and it also represents self-made worth. So with Mars transiting your 2nd house, you may be motivated to start a new business. You may be wanting to launch a new website. You may be wanting to get into sales and marketing and media. And if these are things that you are interested in doing, I highly recommend that you pursue it, because this really can see you boosting your earning capacity. Now, on a different level, you may be seriously saving up to enter some kind of education course or program, as represented by Mars ruling your 3rd house. The 3rd house doesn't just represent courses and education, it also rules over skills and talents. So perhaps you're interested in learning how to develop some sort of new skill, and with Mars in your 2nd house, you may be spending a lot of money to sign up to a new course or to invest in how you can upskill. Now, lastly, you may be wanting to clean out your whole wardrobe and reinvent your image. The 2nd house rules over your possessions and your valuables, and it also rules over your self-worth and how much you value yourself. So you may be taking pretty drastic action to try and remove psychological blockages as represented by Mars ruling over your 8th house, and this can be done by reinventing your whole image. Now, on the 21st of September, there will be a full moon in Pisces in your 7th house, and it will be conjunct Neptune and sextiling Pluto in Capricorn in your 5th house. The 7th house rules over your one-on-one relationships. So this is a big indicator for some kind of relationship ending in your life. On a different level, you may just be successfully fulfilling some kind of obligation with regard to a contract, or there may be something to celebrate in the life of your significant other. They may have actually achieved a lifelong goal that they have held. I see this as being a very positive and healing full moon. So if you do have any issues or grievances in your one-on-one relationship with your significant other, or in any kind of one-on-one relationship, this is a positive indicator for healing that relationship and wiping the slate clean. Now, on the 23rd of September, Venus in Scorpio in your 3rd house will be opposed by Uranus in Taurus in your 9th house. The 9th house is all about education, teaching, traveling, and expanding your views when it comes to philosophy, religion, and your world beliefs. Uranus rules over anything which is sudden and unpredictable in nature. So for some of you, this could lead to an invitation to teach. So with Uranus being the ruler of your 6th house, your boss or your workplace may invite you to teach some kind of course. Now, with the 9th house also ruling over learning as well as teaching, your boss or your workplace may invite you to study something further. So this can really see you investing in your education. Now, lastly for the month, on the 27th of September, Mercury will station retrograde in the sign of Libra in your 2nd house. Mercury is your ruling planet, and it doesn't just rule over your 1st house, it rules over your 10th house of career and public visibility as well. Now, this could see you having some kind of delay when it comes to your regular pay. On a different note, you may be reevaluating your budgets and how much you're spending. You'll be wanting to take a look at how much you are earning from the current career that you're in. With Mercury being retrograde, you will certainly be reevaluating whether your career is worth it, whether you're even happy on the current trajectory that you're on. Now, of course, not all of you are going to be currently employed or currently in the workforce. The 10th house can actually represent what you do as a public service. So it can represent unpaid work here. Now, if you have been doing some sort of unpaid work, maybe you're a figurehead in society, maybe you have an elevated position of leadership, you may be reevaluating whether your commitments to this role are even worth it. Now, if you're not currently in the workforce at all, and whether that's by choice or whether you're unable to find work, this can actually see you re-entering the workforce. So with Mercury being retrograde in your 2nd house of finances, this can see you welcoming back some kind of financial stream of income. Now, with Mercury being retrograde in your 2nd house of finances and self-worth, you can be totally reevaluating the ways in which you value yourself. You may be inclined to increase the prices on services that you offer in the workplace. You may be inclined to ask your boss for a promotion or for a raise. If this is an idea that you have been toying with, I really recommend that you go for it, because when Mercury is retrograde, it can see things turning around on a dime. And if this is a conversation that you've had with your boss or with a superior before, this is an awesome time for you to ask them again, because they may be more amenable to the idea of increasing your pay. Now, on a different level, the second house rules over your possessions and your valuables. So something that you thought was lost for good could suddenly reappear, or it could even be returned to you. And lastly, with Mercury being retrograde in your second house, your taste when it comes to your wardrobe could totally change. So it's a great time to take stock of what you've got in the closet and of what no longer represents you, especially if you're thinking about how you're appearing in the public eye. And if you want to sell these old clothes and possessions, with Mars and Mercury in your second house, at this point in time, it's a great time to do so. And so Virgo, that's all I have for you for September 2021. If you enjoyed this horoscope, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Enjoy your month ahead and take care.